Hey everybody, welcome to another Solo Sunday with Pencil First Games. I'm Jessica and it is awesome to have you here again today. We are taking a look at Liftoff, Get Me Off This Planet, Deluxe Expanded Edition, or Expanded Deluxe Edition, which I always mix up. Regardless, it's the Deluxe Edition. So I'll let everybody kind of join in. And again, welcome to everybody who's stopping by today. Always lovely to have you, and hopefully we have a great time here. Feel free to leave any comments or questions as we go along. I am hoping to have a great time. The goal here is to save all of these aliens before the planet explodes and time runs out. So we will see if I can do that. It's questionable at best. But I have the game partially set up, and I'll kind of go through how to play. It's similar to the multiplayer game if you've played that with others. It's awesome. It's a fun, exciting kind of game. Very kind of funny. I love treating this as a funny game just because you have all of these different liftoff points that we're going to see to save aliens. It's not just, get them on the spaceship and go. There's a trampoline. We have a UFO we might be able to call up. There's a ladder that they can climb, all with their own costs and risks involved as we go through this. So this is going to be fun. And pardon me, I have this set up way far over there, so I'm going to be doing a bit of reaching. If I disappear, I did not get abducted by aliens. It's fine. So yeah, let's dive in here and see what are we going to be doing? What does this solo game entail with Liftoff? So again, the goal here is we're going to be saving these aliens. So I have 10 in the planet's core right now that are hanging out there. They missed the call. The story goes that somebody tripped over the coolant wire and the planet is melting down, basically. So all these aliens, their planet is not going to be there for much longer. We got to get them out of there. And this group in the solo game, maybe they weren't paying that much attention. They were like, I got time, it's fine. But now this is the very last day to get off the planet. You see way up there in the upper right, keep reaching. We are on the last day. So we have 1 day to save all 10 aliens. Otherwise, oh no. And going along with that, you'll see that we have a moon tracker up here, which is going to be going counterclockwise, and that's going to affect these different liftoff points. The moon phases interact with, when we can actually lift off, what the costs are, what the chances of actually lifting off are. It's a really cool element of just trying to time things perfectly. So we're going to have costs and cards that I'm going to be playing. So I drew my starting hand. We're going to be going through a lot right now, so just settle in, enjoy. But my starting hand, I have 4 cards to start with, and there's 2 resources in the game. There's fuel and there's screws. So I have 3 fuel and 1 screw, and that is going to be used to get on these liftoff points and hopefully get these aliens out of there, because we need to move them out of the core, up through these exit points, which you kind of see the tunnels up to the surface. And then we're going to move along the surface, getting them to 1 of 4 liftoff points, which I will go over here in a second. Lots of stuff, but it comes together really well. Can you tell I'm too excited? That's where all this rambling comes from. And also I have this little green alien here in the bottom right saying, "Can anyone save us?" No pressure. No pressure. So again, I think they're easy to see, but just in case, let's pick up a couple of these. We have 10 different aliens, also known as alieneeples, if we can get those in the shot. Look at these. Their expressions are priceless. I love these. And if it's easier, I don't know if it's easier to show them over here, but I always give them Pillsbury Doughboy voices, and I'm not sure why, going, "Oh no," because they have no time. But they come in 6 different colors, and since it's solo and I don't need to worry about anybody else, I play with all of the colors in play. There's 10 of each included, so if you want to play and you say, "I really want to go with yellow or pink or green," whatever color, use all of them. I just like having a mix here to use what I can. Similarly, all the way on the right side, I have all of the matching spaceships just laid out because that's another fun component. Usually what we're doing is we're putting saved alieneeples on their spaceships. So I'll be putting them over there as they get off the planet. Hopefully we get all 10. So what else is going on here? I'll get into the liftoff points here in a second and show you what I need to do to get these aliens out of here. But you might notice there's this little marker here in the center. And what is that? That, my friends, is the representation of the Garglore, who is another inhabitant of this planet who is not too thrilled that these alieneeples, they're the ones to blame for that coolant wire. It's going down because of them. So the Gargler is very upset. So the Garglore is going to be moving around in the inside of the core, affecting the planet's surface. And each turn we'll draw a card, and let's just take a look at what the Garglore can do. So for instance, the Garglore has this charge, return surface aliens to the core. So that would be any alien that's not on a liftoff point, who hasn't paid the cost and is just kind of roaming around the surface. They kind of get brought back down into the core, and then you're going to have to start all over with moving. There's other ones that are kind of cool too, like Yell. Surface aliens flee to the other side of the planet, so that's actually going to move them. So say we had aliens, say this guy was over here, and he hears that yell, of the Garglore. It's going to move to the exact opposite side of the planet. And then I have to work with that and say, I don't know how I'm going to do this now. Personally, my favorite card in the Garglore deck, of course, is this one. Nap time, nothing happens. So the Garglore is just relaxing down there. So we'll see what happens with the Garglore, but that is going to definitely put some, I don't know, give us some additional challenges, because already just planning where to go and how to get aliens off the planet is tough enough. But having that Garglore going around, that's not easy. So this is actually a completely modular board that I have partially set up. I'll show you. We'll just take off one of these liftoff points and took off a slice of the planet. These are all double-sided, so there's a lot of variety with and this is actually a blank one so that you can create your own liftoff points. I have had to think about some ideas there, and if we get there, I have a few that incorporate some other components that you might recognize. But let's take this one, for instance, right? So we have a liftoff point called the satellite. And there's a lot of information here, but it's pretty straightforward. As I try to reach. So over on the left, this is telling me that I can have a maximum of 3 alieneeples on that liftoff point at one time. I can't just get all 10 on there and say, I'm done, this is easy. No, the satellite has its limits. So we know that we can get 3 maximum, and for each time that I'm going to put an alien there, there's a cost to get onto that. And the cost here is 1 screw. So I could use 1 screw. Right now I have that card, and I could pay that if my alien was there to get them on this liftoff point and get ready to lift off. Oh, excuse me, I can't read. That's 2 screws. So I cannot do it. I'm halfway there. Someone needs to read better. But then we have up here is telling us what are the requirements for lifting off, right? So we have all the different moon phases. And remember I mentioned that moon tracker before. The moon is going to tell me, is it in this is a new moon, half moon, or full moon status? And what in the world does that mean? It's very simple. And it's done by liftoff point. So let's just say, for instance, I'm going to move it right here just as an example. It's right above this liftoff point. If it's directly above the liftoff point, that's a full moon. So that's full moon for that one. All the way on the other side, we see this liftoff point, which is on the exact opposite side of the planet. If you drew a straight line, this one is on the opposite side. That is in the new moon phase. And you can kind of think about that again. If the moon's on the other side of the planet, it's going to get blocked out by the planet, obviously. And then for any other liftoff point, so the one that I took off the planet, don't worry, it's coming back. And also the one up here, that's in half moon status because it's not going to be, that moon again is not directly above it. It's not directly across from it. It's kind of in between. So that's the half moon status. So this liftoff point doesn't have requirements specifically for, different requirements for those different moon phases. What it's telling me is that as soon as there are 6 screws placed on this liftoff point, which typically would mean 3 aliens are loaded on there, that satellite's going to say, I'm calling for help, and they lift off, and those ones will get out of there. So that one is very resource-based, and you can see it just kind of slides back in there. And there we go, full planet again. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one, which I have an extra counter on there because it's a special one. I can get it out of there. The planet does not want to break up just yet. And also, hi, Edo. Edo's in the comments and would love to hear about my liftoff creations. Whoa, I spent about 2 minutes on that, but definitely, if we flip one of these over, definitely. So this is a different liftoff point. And again, you'll see it's very different. We've got all different other information here. So what does this tell me? Again, maximum of 3 aliens on here. I can't just load them all on here. Interestingly, though, my cost for going on this liftoff point is 0. I don't have to pay anything. I can just get them up there. So what does that mean, right? Why would I want to do that? This is a ladder. So what I can do is each time I can spend movement points to move up that ladder. When they reach the 3rd rung, that ladder is high enough in the sky that we can get a ship down here, or they can catch a ride or do what aliens do and get out of there. Another option I can do instead, though, is you can see that there's this little ladder token that I have on there. And what's this? This is a double-sided token. What I can do there is I can actually discard an action card to flip that token. So I can take a risk and say, if it lands this side up, that alien gets to move up a rung without me spending a movement point. But if it gets on this side, that means that alien just fell down by 1 rung and can affect everybody else in that, climbing behind them. So it's a risky situation to do that. But if I have a lot of action cards that I'm not using, that might be a good idea. So that could be interesting. We've gone through the satellite, which is using a lot of resources to get up there. The ladder, which is going to be using a lot of movement points. And then what else do we have? Let's grab way over here. Another chunk of the planet. It's going to explode. So this is a preview of things to come. This one is the trampoline. And this one's really fun because you're literally jumping on a trampoline. These aliens are jumping and trying to get off the planet with a trampoline. I mentioned before how fun this is, and it always has its humorous moments. The trampoline is definitely one of them, and it's really thematic too. So let me go through how this works. You'll see over here, we can only have a maximum of 2 aliens on the trampoline, which makes sense. You don't want to overload a trampoline. Bad things are bound to happen. The placement cost, just like we saw before, is 0. But what does this mean? What else? What am I doing here, right? So you can just have the aliens get on that trampoline, hang out. Oh, and hey, Chris is here. This place is about to blow. It is. It definitely is. An explosion is imminent. Can we get the aliens off? I don't know. They may or may not get off this planet. But the trampoline, yes. The fun thing about the trampoline here is that to get on that liftoff point costs nothing. So try to point 10 miles away. Technology fun. You can see there's this icon here. You can see there's a die or a dice, and that costs 1 screw to roll the die. And that die, I'll show off real quick, it's this nice custom die here. So it's got all different sides on it. And what do these mean? So the X means that's a failure. And with the trampoline, that's a double failure because you can see way up there in the upper right, if you get a failure on that die, all the aliens on this liftoff point get sent back to the core. It's a pretty funny thing. I like thinking about it thematically, like they tried to jump and they totally failed, but then perfectly lined up with one of these exit points and just back to the core. You do not want that to happen, but there's a chance it might happen. The rest of the sides on the die show a different number of spaceships between 1 and 3. So what can we do with those? What we're going to do there with the trampoline, it actually has to do with the moon phases. See that up in the upper left there? So if we are at a new moon, which is the far left one, that means that I need to roll 3 spaceships to get out of there. That's difficult. Very difficult. If it's a half moon, I need 2+. But if it's a full moon, I just need 1+. So the full moon is going to be the easiest time to jump on the trampoline, which makes sense. When you're jumping on a trampoline, you need to probably see what you're doing. In the dark, I don't know about that. But these aliens are desperate. So we're going to put that one back. And the last one we have on here is the UFO. And again, I mentioned it before, but there's a lot of other liftoff points. These are all double-sided. I drew another blank one. There's only 2 blanks in the entire liftoff point category, and somehow I've shown both of those. I promise the other ones are double-sided, and there's more in the box. So what is this one? This is the UFO. Whoa. You'd think that the UFO would belong to the aliens, but it's another unidentified flying object for the aliens. Another alien species? Or did it come from us? I don't know. No one knows. But again, we can see that this has a maximum of 3 aliens that I can place on this liftoff point. And each one has a different cost placing, right? So the first one is going to cost 1 fuel. The second is going to cost 2 screws. And the third is going to cost 3 fuel. And then what happens with that? So that's an interesting one here with the UFO. With that, you can see the minus signs up by 2 of those moon phases. For full moon and half moon, that means it can't take off. But if it's a new moon, meaning the moon tracker's on the opposite side of the planet, it automatically takes off as soon as it has all of those resources. Ooh, so that one's going to have to do with timing and making sure that we get the right types of resources. So let me get this. It's actually set up. It's properly set up because there's one other important thing in the solo game that doesn't exist in the multiplayer. And I have all the tokens kind of laid out way over here. So what are these, you might ask? They're all identical, but what these are scrap tokens. And what happens there? 2 of these go on every liftoff point. You say, well, why? And what that is we have to actually remove that scrap before we can take off. So I like to think of that as, maybe the Garglore probably did that by rampaging about, or this is from everybody else taking off before and everything's kind of fallen apart because, again, this planet is very unsteady. It literally has 1 day before it's gonna fall apart. So we need to save those aliens. And what else have I not gone over? So we have movement points. We can move 3 times during each turn. That could be 1 alien 3 times or 3 different aliens. Takes 1 movement point to move from the core to the surface. And I can go out of any of the 4 exit points you see out here. And then moving along the surface costs 1 movement point. So if I had an alien over here, they made it to the surface, it would cost 1 additional movement point to go visit this liftoff point, but not actually get on the platform yet because that's the paying the costs or not paying the costs, but that's not a movement phase action. One really nice thing in the rule book that I will use here because I think it's easy to see is to have aliens move along the surface, just kind of laying down flat on the board when they're moving about. Once those liftoff requirements, payment has been made, we stand them up. And that's just a reminder that they are on that liftoff point and they are ready to go. So we will see how that pans out. I need some water. Announcement, water time. We are in that odd phase of the year over here where it is very cold at night, for me at least, and very warm during the day. So I don't know, is the heat on? Is the air conditioning on? I have no clue. Is the planet, did I trip over the coolant wire in this house? Possibly. So we went over movement, repairing, and that's what this scrap is about. We're going to try to repair at each of these liftoff points. Get on there. There we go. We'll organize the planet before it blows up. And when I go there, it depends again on the moon what I can do. So normally I have 3 repair actions. If it's a full moon at that liftoff point, 1 repair action takes off 1 scrap token. If it's a half moon, it takes 2 repair actions to take off a scrap token. And if it's a new moon, it's 3 repair actions to take off a scrap token. So again, it's all about planning where that moon is. We have the Garglore to keep an eye on. We have our cards, and you'll see, we don't have any in our hand right now, but we're actually going to have action cards that can maybe move the moon tracker. There's some that could potentially cancel out the Garglore. If he's not napping, you can say, excuse me, no, that's not happening. And a couple of other things that could affect the planet and what we're doing. It's very cool. Yes, Rochester is a different planet. Yes, upstate New York, if anyone's familiar with it, the weather here, if you're not from around here, it literally will change on a dime. We've had days where it has snowed, then gone up to 60 degrees, then gone back down and rained, but not snowed. And it changes on a dime. Weather forecasters in this region are wrong 90% of the time. I feel very bad for them. We get so much unpredictable weather here, which reminds me of the Full House song, Whatever Happened to Predictability? Yes, it doesn't exist over here. But anyway, I digress. So we talked about movement. We talked about repair and those scrap tokens. We can play action cards, which again, I don't have any in my hand, so we'll get there when we get there. We can pay those launch platform or liftoff costs depending on where we are. And I can also decide to trade 2 cards for 1. So if I'm like, I really need a fuel or a screw, or I want to look for that action card, I can trade 2 of those, discarding 2 cards and drawing 1 from our giant deck right here. Not from the Gargoyle deck, which is his action deck, to see what he's going to do. And then we're going to move the moon token. And you can kind of see the arrows. That's going to go counterclockwise. Then the Garglore gets his turn and his, moment in the spotlight. We kind of see what happens there, resolve that. And then the Garglore is going to move because he's on his own terms, of course. It's going to go clockwise. I was going to say counterclockwise. He goes clockwise. So we're going to always move him so he's facing an exit point. And he's always going to affect that exit point and then the 2 corresponding liftoff points. But we will see that in action here shortly. So what do I have to do? I need to get all these aliens off the planet in 1 day. And 1 day is going to be represented as that moon token goes all the way around. Once it hits the star icon, which if I jump up here, it currently is on the star icon. As soon as it returns to that, it is going to blow up. So we need to get those aliens off pronto. The spaceships are standing by. I vaguely know what I'm doing. So let's take a look and see what is going to happen. So where am I here, right? explain the game. Let's think strategically, right? So I only have one screw, so the satellite, I don't want to be moving towards that just yet. I can't do much at the moment. And again, I want to use my movement points optimally if I can. The ladder could be an interesting one to get onto and start moving somebody up the ladder. Let's see, the trampoline is fun but dangerous. And again, remember, it's easiest when it is at a full moon, and that's not going to be till almost at the end of the game. And then we could also, the trampoline could go horribly wrong, and that jump could take us back to the core. So that one's a little too risky for me right now. And then we do have, I covered you, the UFO. The UFO, I do have the first cost, so I could get someone on the UFO, and I could get somebody headed towards the satellite. Yes. So who do we want to move first is the question. I have 2 of most colors, and then I have, I think, 1 blue and 1 orange. Again, I use all the colors because why not? So all these aliens are yelling, help, help, help. However, it's usually the green one that's yelling the most at me. Can anyone save us? So we need to get a green one out of there. My husband will appreciate that because green is his favorite color. So let's take care of it. So we're going to move again. We're going to go woo, 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 with that exact noise because that's what it sounds like. That's 1 movement point to get to the surface. And then I'm going to, let's see. That's okay. So then I'm going to use another movement point to go head over towards the UFO. Just going to hang out there. Again, that alien is laying down, so we did not get on the platform yet. And with my third action, I'm going to move another alien. Let's get this pink one. Whoa! Up to the surface. So that was my 3 movement points. We got 2 to the surface. That's okay. And also, I don't have to move to start my turn, but obviously, this is the very start. There's not much else to do besides getting those aliens out of the core. So next, let's see. Yeah, the best thing I can do here is I have, again, those repair actions. The cost of that for taking off 1 scrap token, that is a half moon position because, again, it's not directly above and it's not directly across from the UFO. So I'm going to spend 2 of those repair actions to take off this 1 scrap token. Now I have 1 left, but I can't do anything with it. So that's okay. We're partway there. So note, though, that I'm in a position to get the little green alien up there on the platform, but I can't because there's scrap. There's just a mess. Just imagine that. There's a mess over where the UFO would pick them up. We can't have that. They would risk, picking up random stuff along with the aliens, and we don't want that to happen. So, nope. All right. What else can I do here? I'm just trying to think. That is a risky move that I just did, moving the green one there, though, because the Garglore is going to be drawing a card, and that could affect us. But I'm going to take the risk. So that, I'm going to say, is the end of my actions, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it gets better. Don't worry. The first turn, you start planning everything. So we get the moon to move here, which is good, I hope. And then we're going to see what the Garglore does. Let's see. Oh, no! The Garglore is yelling. Surface aliens flee to the other side of the planet. Oh, no! What did he yell, Garglore? My goodness. So I just need to confirm it's everybody, right? Yes. All right, so what happens there, so I have the pink one. Pink one is going to go to the opposite. Whoa, actually, we should reenact this. It's more of an arc going, ending up over there. And then my green one, who is hanging out at the UFO, whoa, is now at the ladder. Oh, you know what? I can't read. Whoa, just kidding. That pink alien was not affected because it is only affecting the UFO, this exit point, and the trampoline. I can't read arrows today. It's fine, never happened. But the green one definitely moved from the UFO to the ladder. Oh, Garglore. We should yell back at it. All right, so now the Garglore token is going to move. Let's just get this yellow one out of the way. And it's going to rotate clockwise. So now on the next turn, the Garglore might affect the trampoline, this exit point, and the ladder. Not the green alien. Too much. Just too much. All right. So that is that turn. That turn is now over. So what do I want to do now? I did forget to draw my cards, though. So hold on just 1 second. 1, 2, and 3. I would have had 3 cards before. I apologize. Forgot it. And I believe these... Ooh, okay. So I did draw an action card. And I did that out of order, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I have an action card called Terraform, which means I can exchange 1 empty liftoff point for a new one. Ooh. Which are the ones that are in the box, which could be interesting, but that also then sometimes I like drawing randomly, and you don't know what you're going to get. I know what I have out here right now, and I also know the Garglore could potentially do something to these liftoff points, so I'm fine. Not going to use that during my turn. So what can we do? Okay, so I think... All right, so there is a full moon there. That makes sense. All right, so we're going to use 1 movement point to get the pink alien, whoa, over here. And then, again, because it's a full moon above the UFO, I'm going to be able to use just 1 repair action to take off that scrap token. Cleaned up under the light of the full moon. So now the UFO is available to get everybody loaded on there. Okay. Could potentially do this because then I could take off there. I got it, I think. Okay. So I used 1 movement point and 1 of those. Oh, do we want to make anybody safe here? I think we want to. So I'm definitely going to load up. We're gonna we're gonna pay 1 fuel. Kind of make sure that we can see everything here. I'm gonna pay 1 fuel from my hand. Discard, actually not discard, excuse me. When we pay, they go on the actual liftoff point so that we can track how much is there. I'm gonna get the pink one over here onto the UFO. So that one is on the platform. Yay, getting closer. Then I think what we'll do, let's get the green one. That's 1. This is, again, there's no cost for me to get this one on the liftoff point. So I will get him on the liftoff point. And I believe he has to move 3, correct? I'm cheating and have the rule book in front of me because I just need to confirm the ladder. You start at the very bottom, correct? Yes. Okay. So I'm actually going to use 2 of my last movement points to get him up to the 2nd rung. And if he gets to the 3rd, that green alien takes off. Which introduces a fun situation here of, do I flip the ladder token? I will. I'm going to go for it. Wait a second. I just realized. There's scrap. I should cover up the ladder. Yes, he's like, excuse me, what? You can't do that. The scrap tokens. They get me every time. We want to run out of here. And unfortunately, I already used 1 on the opposite, the UFO. Oh my, what to do? actually, I think what we'll do is we'll move him instead of getting on the ladder and climbing it, we're going to go 1, 2 to go to the satellite. The satellite is in a half moon position, so I can spend those remaining 2 repair actions to get rid of this scrap token. And that also gets the green alien out of the Garglore's way. I like this plan much better. All right. And I'm doing all right in terms of what I have here. All right. I'm happy with where I am. It does seem like we're going very slowly, but I promise we're not. So let's move the moon, which is fine because, by the way, the UFO can't do anything with a full moon or a half moon. So I need to get to the new moon phase to take off. So my goal with the UFO right now is to try to get more aliens out there. They got to get out of the core. All right, and then I draw my 3 cards. So I'm going to get 1 more fuel. Ooh, this is a great card. I love this card. Move the moon. Move the moon 1 spot in either direction. Yes, that's one to save, definitely. And also, ooh, a nice wild card. So that means that this is either 1 fuel or 1 screw. So that's another awesome card. I am excited. It looks like a mess. It's fine. Also, I just realized, I should show this in the rule book. This is what we mean by the Garglore throwing scrap all over the place. Do you see this? Very thematic. That's exactly what's going on with all the scrap tokens. Ooh, Garglore. However, speaking of the Garglore, it's the Garglore's turn. Uh-oh. Break. Add 2 scrap tokens to liftoff points. Oh, no. It says liftoff points. Yes. Oh, no. Which is exactly as I just showed in that diagram. So this is to the ones that the Gargler is affecting. So there's going to be 2 more over on the trampoline. Oh, my goodness. And I should probably stack those to make it easier. And then 2 on the ladder. Ooh, stack those because apparently I missed them on the ladder before. Garglore, not good. So what I need to now take into account is there's a lot. You can see on the ladder plus the trampoline, I have 4 scrap tokens on those. That is going to take a lot of actions to get off of there. So I definitely want to focus on making the UFO and the satellite safe. Garglore! So the Gargler, at the end of their turn, these aliens are like, nope, get me out of there. I don't want to be in the way of that thing. It's going to go here. So, yikes. It could affect the satellite next turn. All right, so we go to the next round. Racing along here. And remember, I do have that action where I can move the moon, which can definitely help out, but I don't know if I want to. Let's see. Let's start getting some more aliens up to the surface. So I'm going to take the blue one, who's going to go, woo! That's 1 movement. We're going to go 2 movement to get over to the UFO. And then we're going to take, let's get another one for my other movement point. Woo! Flying up out of the core. We'll get a yellow one on the surface. Okay. That's what I wanted to do for moving. For repairing, I'm just going to use 2 to get this scrap token off the satellite with the green, taking care of business and making sure that it's clear for getting on there. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that, but I'm not happy with my options. Ooh, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to get the blue alien that's just hanging out here, getting ready for the UFO. So what this is telling me, so remember, the first one that I got on there cost me 1 fuel. The second one is going to cost me 2 screws, which I do have. So we're going to load that onto the liftoff point. And that means we'll stand you up. And now we've got 2 waiting for the UFO. So I need to get 3 fuel, and I do have that. Okay, I'm in good shape here. I think. We're moving along. Okay, so what else can we do here? On the satellite, I would like to get this green alien on the platform, but it costs 2 screws and I only have 1 wild at this time. I could risk it by trading in 2 cards for 1 and, trading in 2 and drawing 1 off the top, but that's risky because do I really need it at this point? No. I think we're going to hang out with a lot more fuel for now. It's not... The only reason I'm hanging on to it is because of the UFO. I definitely need 3 of those. And I don't want to get rid of those. No. That, I think, is all I want to do here. Which was a productive turn. You can see we're getting there and getting there. Alieneeples are slowly coming out of the core. We're slowly getting them up there, and we are dealing with the Garglore. Also, I am not using it yet, but the Move the Moon actually does end up giving me a little extra time because, again, it moves at the end of my turn. So I'm still saving that, though, because I don't want to use it too fast. Okay, my turn is over. So the moon now moves over here. It's above the satellite. And let's draw 3 cards. So what am I going to get? Oh, yes, here's a good one. So this one, ignore the text on this. This is a little bit different for multiplayer. But in the solo game, this card allows me to just cancel out whatever the Garglore does. Yes, just what you want. So that's 1, 2. I get another fuel, which is, it's not that helpful. I need a screw. Oh, there we go. There's a screw. Great. So I have tons of resources, tons of cards. It's working out. And let's see what the Garglore is going to do. Take a nap. Take a nap. The Garglore is charging and returning surface aliens to the core. Ooh. So I have a decision here. I can either accept that and say, let's get this green alien who's done so much already and send it back to the core, which means it's going to have to start all over. Or I can use this Garglore card to say, no, no. I don't think so. Ooh. It's tricky because there's not a lot of these cards in the deck. So me using it now means when I could use it later on. Oh, but that poor green guy. I feel bad for that alieneeple. He's been, remember, went to the UFO, got tossed to the other side of the planet. I tried to make him climb the ladder, and no, that was not allowed. And then he just did a good job of clearing out the satellite. Oh, the agony. Oh, but it is, see, the hard part here sounds, I'm going to accept that, which I know is sad. Oh, back to the core. Because that only affects 1 alien. If there were, this could affect 3 or 4, possibly even more, depending on how I spread them out. I need to be prepared. I need to save them all. So, fine, Garglore. We'll make a note, though. It's this one. Or wait, was it that one? Oh, no, I don't remember exactly which one it was. But the Garglore moves and is now over here. So, again, that's going to affect the satellite, this exit point, and, ooh, that could be tricky. But, again, that's why I'm saving up my Garglore cancellation. Okay, back to me. Okay. We're going to use 1 movement point to get the yellow over here. And then I'm going to pay the cost to get that yellow alieneeple on that platform. The cost, again, for the 3rd one there is 3 fuel, which I have right here. And that, again, is going to go on that liftoff point. So if you want to count real quick, I'll actually stand up. Yay! You can see we have 4 fuel and 2 screws on that liftoff point, which is the requirement for it to take off when it is a new moon. So it needs to, the moon tracker, which is right here right now, needs to move 1, 2 for that to automatically take off, which is great. That means that I pretty much have guaranteed 3 alieneeples are all set. Yes, we have to deal with the Garglore, but that's okay. I'm going to work with it. Oh, okay. So I still have 2 movement points left. Let's see. And the satellite, what do I have? I do have 2 screws, and the satellite just takes off. The trouble with the satellite, that's another one that will take off regardless of the moon phase, but I need 6 screws for it. And I'm just looking at my cards and organizing a little bit. So I have 2 fuel, 1 screw, and 1 wild card, which is a screw or a fuel. And then I have a couple of action cards. Okay, let's see. Ooh, 2. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to try to plan ahead here. We'll get the red alieneeple to go, whoa! And then, boop. So that's my 2 other movement points. And then I have 3 repair actions. Oh, wait, this is not a good idea. Is it? Yeah, I would like to risk it with the trampoline. So it is going to cost me 3 repair actions for 1 scrap token. It's okay, because otherwise I would be paying 2. So either way, I can only take off 1 scrap token, either from the ladder or the trampoline. We're going to risk the trampoline because I like the idea of it. So that's 3 repair actions to take off 1 scrap token. Is there anything else that I would like to do? Again, I could potentially trade cards. I actually think I will, because I don't see how we could use the UFO liftoff point again during this game. Why, you might ask? What's going to happen? What is going to happen is we need the moon tracker to move to here. And when it's here, that's when that'll be able to take off. And it can only take off when it's a new moon. So what I would have to do and prepare for, basically in the next turn, is having 3 aliens ready to jump on there and ready to pay all the costs and then use the move the moon card. Could I do it? It's a possibility, but it's really, really tight. So no. Let's dump. I shouldn't say dump. We're not dumping fuel here. We're going to trade in 2 fuel, and that's where we're going to have a discard pile up here. Don't worry, we'll not cheat, which lets me draw 1 card from the top. Again, I'm trading 2 for 1. Ooh, and it was a good trade. So I got a wild, so I can treat this as either a fuel or a screw. Need that, definitely, because again, a lot of these are going to need, we need more screws out here than fuel. And again, this is the fun part of playing because you're always going to have different liftoff points. And they all have different requirements. And sometimes you'll have an even mix. Sometimes you need a lot of fuel. Sometimes it's all the screws. So we'll see what happens here. All right, I'm going to say that is the end of my turn, though. I'm fairly happy with where I am, but I know we are got a lot to do still. So we'll move the moon marker. So it's way down here, at the very bottom. And that lets me draw 3 cards at the end of my turn. So, ooh, this is a good one. Move your alien. Use 1 more alien movement point. That could definitely come in handy. And also, ooh, another Garglore card. Okay. So that means that I have 2 chances now to cancel out that Garglore. And a screw. Yes. All right. So we are managing our resources good here. The deck is being kind. The Garglore, I am okay with whatever we draw here, but watch. I really hope it's a nap because that's the best card. And it's not. It is Stomp. Aliens are knocked off platforms. What? That is, okay, so normally this would be catastrophic almost because this is affecting the UFO. So all of these aliens would be knocked off the platform. They would still stay in that spot, but I would then have to repay the costs. No. So we are going to say to the Garglore, no. No, no, no. So I discard that card, which means that the Garglore's action is canceled out. The Garglore is still going to move, though, at the end of his turn. So there is where he is. Okay. I still have another Garglore card, so I can cancel him out if he touches that UFO platform again. Don't touch. Do not touch. Got it. Okay. So now it is back to me. Everything's going to be in a half moon phase because this is an exit point. So there's no liftoff point directly across from it, and it itself is not a liftoff point. So we need to get aliens into position, clearing out scrap, or potentially getting them on these satellites. Okay. I think we're going to go for the satellites. So let's get our green alien eagle to go, whoa! And he's upside down. Whoop. That's 2 movement points. And then we'll get the orange one to go the proper way. Whoa! Onto the surface. So that's 3 movement points I just used. I'm happy with that. I'm going to pay 2 screws here. And that is going to allow this, again, no, I forget this sometimes. I'm so used to when playing cards, discarding them. They specifically go on that liftoff point, though, because this is calling for 6 screws in order to take off at any point. So this green alien eagle is now loaded on the liftoff point, ready to go. I don't think we have anybody else. Oh, I do have, okay, so our helpful red alien eagle up here is going to use 2 repair actions, or 2 repair action points, whatever, however we want to call it, if I can actually use my words, to take off another scrap token. Because again, the trampoline is in the half moon phase, because this is not, the moon is not directly above or directly across from it. So trampoline might work. I'm leaving that as kind of a last resort, because when the moon token is directly above it for a full moon, I just have to roll 1 or more spaceships on the dot. Okay, good. Got my plan. Is it a good plan? We will see. Alrighty. So we have, at this point, I am going to say, that's my turn. So the moon is going to go here, which is exactly where I want it, again, for our beautiful UFO over there. Okay, and then I get my 3 cards. Nice. There's another screw that I can use. Oh, we are getting lucky here. There's another Garglore. We can cancel out a lot of what the Gargler is going to do. And then a fuel. Not as useful, but also not terrible. And I should note that canceling out the Gargler is not just the only way to get ahead with this and do well. You can see I'm having to plan how the moon tracker is going and trying to figure out where is the best place to get those alien eeples. You can see that we are nearing getting closer to the end here, and I still have a lot more to do. So let's take a look and let's dive in and see what happens, because the Garglore gets to go now. Oh, and of course, the Garglore, after what? The stomp that I canceled out, the Garglore's like, it's fine. I'm not doing anything. I need a nap. So the Garglore takes a nap, which means the Garglore does not do anything and is now going to affect these potential liftoff points. Okay. Watch as he tries to put more scrap tokens on the trampoline. I would not put it past him. And at this point, the ladder is kind of out because there are 4 scrap tokens on there. That's going to take a lot to even get them off of there, and I have no aliens actually moving up that ladder. So we may have to give it up on the ladder. However, it is now my turn, and immediately, because the UFO is in the new moon phase, we have 3 aliens on there, and all the costs have been paid. Again, it requires 4 fuel and 2 screws, which is exactly what's on there. That UFO has been called, and the UFO is like, oh, we need to save the aliens. So these are going to go away. And these aliens, let's just get a spaceship. We're going to say, and they say, oh, We get to leave. And then, well, if let's not take the planet with us. It drives backwards. So we have 3, if they want to be on the screen, they're a little bit hidden, but we have 3 aliens, and it might be easier to put them down over here. 3 have been saved. Yay! They made it off of there. I could put them on their matching spaceships. It's fine. They made it off the planet. That's the important part. Ooh, alrighty. So that takes care of that one. Another one I want to do is I want to go move for 1 movement point. We're going to go orange. It's going to hang out here by the satellite. I'm going to pay 2 screws, and I'm going to do that by paying a normal and then a wild. So there's 2 that's going to go on this liftoff point. Standing up. Alrighty. And then we have 2 more movement points. So let's get, who hasn't been saved yet? Red? Where's red? Oh, the other red is over there. Let's get a red one to go, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know, my alien sounds not up to par, but it's our 2nd movement point. And then the 3rd, hanging out over here. I do not have any, well, I have 1 screw. This would be the point where I would say, do I want to trade in some cards and try to find another screw? The thing is, I don't. I still like my Move the Moon card is good. I have a card that lets me move an alien again. I'm keeping that. And then I have 2 Garglore cancellation cards. Very, very rarely, almost never, would you want to drop those, because again, this helps you protect your aliens that are out there from that Garglore who is just rampaging about and all upset about the planet being ready to explode. All right, that's all the movement. I could use movement to move someone else, but I'm okay. I'm going to use, again, the trampoline. We're going to use another 2 repair actions to take off this scrap token. So there's 1 that's left on the trampoline. That alien is doing a very good job. And I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I think that's it. We're trying to move along here. Doing my best. Alrighty. That is where I am there. So let's see what so the moon token is going to be over here. And yes, it is nearing the end. I'm going to have to plan carefully. Get ready for it. And then I draw 3 cards. So we're going to have another move your alien. Another screw. That helps a lot. And a wild. So that could be another screw. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. That's what I needed. See what the Garglore does. Well, the nap continues. I don't know. I guess rampaging all around the core is very tiring. So rest well, Garglore. Alrighty. So I'm excited, very excited, because here's what we're going to do for the next turn. To start it off, I'm looking down here at the satellite, which requires 2 screws to get that red alieneeple on there. So there's how I'm paying with 2 screws. Load them on there. Goes here. And guess what? We need 6 screws for the satellite to work in any moon phase. So unlike the UFO, which required us to have a new moon, this is any phase. And we have 6 screws on there, 3 alieneeples, and you know what that means? The satellite has been called. Let's get the next ship to come in and go, whoa, we've heard the call. And they climb on board, and we'll put them down, mostly so I don't drop them, and the spaceship takes off. 3 more saved. Yes! So we have 6 out of 10 saved at this point. And that may have looked like it was very easy getting all 6 off because that was in succession, but now you'll notice I still have 3 in the core. We have a trampoline maybe. If I had a lot of screws in my hand, I would probably go for the satellite again because that's very easy to use if you have the right cards. As you can see, I don't. And the UFO is out because that's not going to help. Ooh. What do I want to do here? The trampoline is like the last possible option. And it's not that great. Because again, it's so risky with the way, if we can get 2 on there though. But then where would I put the other 2? No, I know what I'm going to do. And it's an interesting move that's going to take me a moment. Ooh, but I have extra movement. Ooh, so many decisions. Let's see. Okay. I can use terraform, correct? Yes. Wonder if we could do that. I'm literally talking to myself here. I am thinking of using terraform. Why am I thinking of using terraform? To get rid of the UFO and replace it with a different one from the box. So you know what? We're going to do that. Give me 1 second because I have everything back in the box. Also, when I clean up, when I clean up, I do want to show off this box insert because this is fantastic. There's a place for everything and it's neatly, you can kind of see it here with the camera overhead. So let me just take this off. We don't need the plastic. And then I have 2 of these at the top. I'm going to just randomize these. We're going to shuffle. That's all I'm doing here. Shuffling, flipping, shuffling, and flipping. And we get a wormhole. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So let's clean this back up and get my neatly organized area remotely organized again. Sure, that goes there, we'll say. So what am I doing? The wormhole requires 1 more component. Get some interlude music here as I just prepare because the wormhole I was not expecting to come out. I had them in there sort of in the order that made sense. There goes the box. Calm it down. All right. So where are we here? We have terraformed. So the UFO liftoff point is now gone. That part of the planet, away. And we have the wormhole now. Okay. All right. So the wormhole, and I don't know if this actually helps me, but the wormhole here can fit 6 aliens on it, which is good. To place an alien, it costs me 1 screw to get them on that platform. It costs 1 screw to roll a die. And I need to remember what the top part means. Wormhole. Wormhole. Yep. Once per turn. Ooh, okay. All right, so we're going to have, and this I think would have helped a lot more at the start. I can trade in cards basically with this. We're gonna have a wormhole board, which is gonna have 8 cards on it. So let's just get, after all that, I'm fairly certain I don't need this. We'll get the wormhole board kind of hanging out by the wormhole up there. So what has happened here is I could potentially now use that one. That's not out of the question. However, I need to roll 3 ships in order to get those aliens off of there. Not quite what I needed, but thematically correct. The UFO showed up, and I feel like the UFO may have accidentally taken part of the planet with them and then gone into warp 9.0. 9.7. I don't recall. Is it too much? It was too much warp. I think that was the problem with the UFO. So now there's a wormhole on the planet. No one's too worried about it because we have less than a day before it blows up anyway. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So after all that, that did not help me. It's fine. So we are going to have to rely on the trampoline. Ooh. Ooh. Or I can't do the ladder. Nope. All right. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I thought that was going to be great. I thought we were going to have an awesome new liftoff point that would save everybody, but now I have to get a little risky and kind of figure out what I want to do. Movement helps. I don't have that. I'm cheating again with my my reference with the rule book over here. Alrighty. So do I want to do anything else on this turn? No, I can't. I've used all my movement. I've used all the repair actions. I lifted off from the satellite, which was great. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. We're going to rely on the trampoline. So I'm going to say it's over. My turn is over. Let's get the moon up here. And yes, this would be the last turn, but don't forget, I do have a move the moon action card, which is going to save us a little bit, but it's still really, really tight here. I don't know if I can do it. So let's draw my 3 cards. I'm going to get a screw. That helps, but not a lot. Another move your alien. That is great. And, ooh, asteroids, which I believe does something different. It does not. Okay. Oh, darn it. That would have been good for the UFO. This means all liftoff points are new moon this turn. So basically the asteroids come by and block out that moon, so everything is in the new moon phase. Does that help me with anything? No. It does not. If I had left the UFO out there, that might have been a possibility. Such is the fun with life. Actually, I'm looking at my cards and it would have been really close. I could have actually gotten potentially 3 aliens off. The decisions we make, we must live with. All right. So I drew my cards, right? Drew my cards. Garglore goes, and Gargler is not affecting anybody, but let's see. Oh, Garglore is raging. Terraform liftoff points and add 2 scrap tokens each. I'm relying on the trampoline. Normally this would be terrible because terraforming is going to actually flip these over. But then he adds scrap tokens. No, you know what? I'm going to use my Garglore cancellation and say, there's no rage allowed here today. Get out of here. So nothing for the Garglore there. And then moving here. Okay. All right. So what am I doing first of all, right? On the next turn, which is now, I have a ton of move. Okay. All right. I think I can do it, but we're going to see. First of all, we're going to use 1 repair action to get rid of that last scrap token. Clear it out. That red alieneeple has done wonders over there. So it is now clear and we can load onto there. So we'll just go on the trampoline immediately. And again, this does not cost anything. The trampoline, there's no payment cost for getting on there, but it is going to be risky. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm excited, but I'm also a little nervous because it's right near the end here. Okay, but I have plans. I do have plans. So I have 3 normal movement points. So let's go whoa, up to the surface. That's 1, and then 2. And then we're going to get this alien on the trampoline for free. Okay. So remember that. Somebody remind me if I forget. I've used 2 movement points. I have 1 left. Actually, it doesn't matter. Let's get the other green one. Whoa, up to the surface. So I've used my 3 normal normal movement points. But remember, I have action cards to potentially help with this. Okay. I do have a screw in hand. So what does this mean? I'm going to pay this screw. And does that go? I don't think it goes on the liftoff point because it's not. No, that one doesn't go there. I'm going to pay 1 screw. And that's going to give me the ability to roll this die. I need one or more ships because, again, we're in the full moon phase up there. The moon is right above the trampoline. Plenty of light. It is risky, though, because if I fail on this, those aliens are jumping on the trampoline and then falling down back into the core. So here we go. Yes. Oh, that would have been great for anything. You can see that. Let's bring that up here. That's 3 spaceships. I rolled the best on there. So what does that mean? Let's reenact that. We'll say that there's a spaceship that's low flying around, waiting to save somebody. And these two, whoa, and they jump so high that they've now landed on this spaceship, and it's like, whoa, yay, let's get you out of here. So there's a success. So now we have 8 out of 10 saved. It's just these last 2 that we need to get out of there. Okay, so let me see real quickly. I have 3, okay. 1, ooh, we could do it. We could do it here. So I have 3 move your aliens or move your alien cards. So I'm going to use all of those to give myself 3 more movement points. So this one's going to go, whoa, and then this one is going to go, wait for me. So again, that was 1 to move green from here to the trampoline, 1 to get yellow up through this exit point onto the surface, and then 1 more to get the yellow over to the trampoline. All right, let's see. It's free to get onto the trampoline. So we're going to get those 2. Because remember, it has a maximum of 2 alieneeples I can get on there. They are, no, you can't see it from here, but they're staring at me from across the table with like the most terrified and disappointed looks. I hope it doesn't go the way that I think it might. So I'm going to use this card, which again can be used as either fuel or a screw. I'm going to discard that, which gives me the ability to roll the die. I'm going to take it and hope for the best. No! Oh no! Oh, it's exactly what we did not want to happen. I have rolled a failure on that. So the trampoline jump went horribly wrong. And they jumped, but went, whoa! And they're back at the core. Nice rolling, Jessica. Nice rolling. All right. Let's not panic yet. Ooh, okay. So I still have, let's see. Well, I definitely, there's no way out of it. I need to use this card or it's game over immediately. So this allows me again to move the moon. We're going to move it back 1, which helps give me 1 extra round. But I need 4. Oh my goodness. I am actually going to trade in these 2 cards. I'm going to trade 2 to draw 1 from the deck because I don't need fuel. That's not needed here. And asteroids would change it into a new moon situation, which means I need 3 rockets, which I did roll, but no. So let's see. What do I get off the top? Ooh, an electric storm, which is different in solo. Friends, I get 1 additional repair action. That doesn't, that's not it. Oh, I need a movement point somehow. Oh. All right. But I have nothing else I can do with my turn. So we're going to move the moon because, again, this is the end of my turn. I moved it back, but now it's going to be moving forward again. And I draw 3 cards. So let's see what we get. We get another move the moon card. Okay. So remember what that does. That's going to help me, just like what I did this turn. I can save myself and give myself another turn. Okay. 2 is a fuel, which I do not need. And 3 is a supernova. What does a supernova do? I need to read that. all liftoff points are full moon this turn, which is useful, except it's already full moon there. However, does that help me anywhere else? It doesn't help me anywhere else. So, growly, growly, growly. Okay. So let's see what the Garglore is doing. The Garglore, is taking another nap, which is good and bad for me. So I'm going to rotate. In the next turn, they could affect the trampoline. Also, when you run out of cards with the Garglore deck, if you do, again, it depends on if you're moving that moon tracker or not, we simply shuffle those. And it is a tense moment here as we get towards the end. Ooh, okay. Now, part of me thinks maybe I should have gone for the latter, but I don't think that would have helped because there's so many scrap tokens there. All right. Game plan. Settle it down. 3 movement points. So we'll get the yellow to go, whoa, that's 1. And then 2. And then we'll get the green to go, whoa, or wee. Whatever noises we want to make. It doesn't cost me anything, so we're going to get this yellow on the trampoline. I don't have a screw in hand, so I can't actually pay to roll the die. Also, the fact that it can hold 2 aliens, the trampoline is one of those ones where it has a maximum, but if I really wanted to, I could pay a screw if I had it to roll the die and try to save that alien. Which, again, is one of those interesting trade-offs of, is it riskier to roll this die twice, or would it be safer to just try to save them both at the same time? Okay. I think what I'm going to do is, what else do I have? I don't need the supernova. I don't need this fuel. We're going to go trade in these 2 cards, because, again, the supernova doesn't help me, and a fuel to draw a card from the top, which is a fuel, and I don't need it. And the electric storm doesn't help me, right? No, it doesn't. I'm going to go trade these 2. So that's a fuel and the electric storm, which just gives me an additional repair action. Trade those 2 to get one from the top. Oh my goodness. It's another fuel. We're going to use Move the Moon because, again, otherwise it's game over. So I'm going to move that moon back. And you might think, why don't you just do another trade? Why don't you try to get, the screw? Because I'm saving the Garglore. That's the cancellation one. And the Garglore is currently going to target the trampoline this turn and next turn. Oh my. So we need to see what's going to happen here. All right, that is going to be the end of my turn here. Let's get that moon tracker forward again. And then I draw my 3 cards at the end of my turn. I get, oh my goodness, fuel. Oh my, fuel again. And a Move the Moon. Okay, the Move the Moon is useful. I'm going to have to trade in 2 of those fuel, though, and hope for the best. Because we really need a screw to try to get off this planet here and save these aliens. Okay, that was my turn. Garglore now goes at the end. Oh, yes. Garglore has decided that it is nap time. It's me messing with the moon so much. You know it is. So now Garglore is going to go here. Okay, we go on to the next turn. Also, I should note, this game plays a lot faster solo than I'm going at a very slow pace. And I'm way too excited and talking too much. I think I've been able to finish a solo play in like 20 to 30 minutes. Again, it depends on who's playing, but just a note that this is definitely longer than a normal solo game. However, I digress. Action time. We need to save these last 2 aliens who are on the planet. So what am I going to do? I'm going to use 1 movement point to get green over here. Get green on the trampoline. Then we're going to trade in 2 fuel because fuel does me no good right now. to draw one card. Yes, 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 yes. And it is a fuel or a screw. Okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. Here we go. I'm going to pay this, use it as a screw in order to roll the die. Let's see what happens. Can we save them? Oh my. If it's not obvious, I think I broke the trampoline. Alrighty, so once again, we'll say they got really far this time with but I do have two. Okay. I still have 2 movement points, remember. So I'm going to use my last 2 movement points to go, whoa! They're kind of just moving as a pair now. Next, I'm moving the moon. This strategy is not going to hold out forever, though. I move the moon. Do I have anything else to do? No. I need to save that Garglore card, the cancellation one. Intensity. So we'll move the moon. It's the end of my turn. Draw 3 cards. Yes. There's a screw, a fuel, which is useless to me, and another fuel, just to add fuel to the fire. That's the end of my turn. Garglore now goes. What does the Garglore want to do? The Garglore wants to rage. Terraform liftoff points and add scrap? No. That's exactly why I was saving my Garglore cancellation card for this moment. Bad Garglore. So that doesn't happen because, again, that would have affected the trampoline. Okay. Here we go. What is this? Attempt number 3 to get these aliens off? I don't know. Is there a conspiracy? Potentially. Okay. First off, I'm trading in 2 fuel for a card. Just another screw. Doesn't help me that much, but that's okay. I am then going to use 2 movement points to get these guys, or ladies, or them, on the trampoline space. Load them on there. Pay this screw card to roll this die again. And if I don't do it this time, I think they're lost. This die is so rude. Don't be rude. Please don't be rude, die. Can we just pause for a second and just state that the X is on 2 sides of this die? What is going on? One of those aliens is a traitor. That is what I'm going to claim. It's not clear once again. Yes, I rolled the X again. So they once again trampolined. Ooh, back to the core. I have 1 move left. And I have a feeling I know how it's going to go. We're going to do 1 more trade. A trade in. A fuel and a screw to draw 1 card from the top of this deck. If it is not move the moon, I have failed. And it is a wild card. Oh no! The trampoline betrayed us! Oh, I mean, we can see what the Gargler would do just to finish out the turn. The Gargler's going to nap as the planet explodes. Classic. And then sadly, the moon moves up to here and the planet explodes. If we want to see that, that would be, oh no. Boo, boo. There it is. An exploded planet. I'm very upset about this. And then the core also explodes, and we lose our 2 aliens. No! That was the most polite explosion of a planet I think I've ever seen. But you know me with games. Gotta respect the components. I don't know about that die, though. There are some games where the die is just rude. Here, what if I rolled it again right now? Would the trampoline work? Yeah. We had one more chance that trampoline would have worked. So unfortunately, it was a loss today. However, it was very, very close, I feel like. We had a lot of chances there. I used that trampoline 3 times. Where did that trampoline go? I don't even want to see it. There it is. Flew off into space. Probably still floating out there. Just waiting for somebody to test it out and realize that there's something wrong with it. I know. Maybe the red alien eagle who escaped was the one that actually tripped on the coolant cord, and these 2 aliens who were stuck inside the planet were the only 2 that knew about it. They were witnesses. There was trampoline tampering for sure, but that is Liftoff, Get Me Off This Planet Expanded Deluxe Edition. We didn't win today, but I had a fantastic time, and I hope you did. Thanks again to everybody who stopped by and enjoyed this. It was very tense there. We could have won. We almost did. But that die and or trampoline and or tricky spy alien eagle ruined it all. Well, that, I think, is it for Solo Sunday. Although, if we did do, where is a... Give me 1 second. If we had a blank one, right? What kind of ideas might we use? I did think of this, mostly because I was organizing a bunch of extra components I have. They are organized now. I should share pictures. But I feel like we should have a crossover moment. And do you know who this is? That's right. That's Raptra from Skull Hollow. I feel like we could have a Raptra liftoff point where we just have Raptra as a guardian is somehow linked to this alien planet and is like, I'm here to help, all right? I usually have Foxen crawling all over me and trying to disable me, but I'm here to help. You alieneeples have not done anything to me yet. I feel like there could be a cool thing with Raptra there. I don't know exactly how to tie in fuel and screws, but I'm sure there would be a way. Like maybe Raptra has like this cool space pod on their back. So you got to like screw it in and get, use a lot of screws. And I think it would be just screws for using there. And Raptra could probably, does Raptra have low light vision? I don't know. We could expand on the lore there with Raptra showing up here. Another idea, clouds. This is also with Raptra from Skull Hollow. But what if we had a liftoff point where you could just climb onto the clouds? It's an alien planet. We don't know what these clouds are made out of. Maybe they're a lot more solid than the ones we're used to. I feel like we would need fuel to get up there. There would have to be like some way to kind of fly up there and float into the air and get on these clouds. And then, what would be the fun part? See, normally I would say let's roll the die, but I need a break. I need a moment. The die was not kind. And then let's go really out there. What could be another liftoff point? Magical top hat. And I have absolutely no idea how that would work, but it's a magical top hat. You could have the aliens climb inside, and then there would be some requirements, and they would just poof, get out of there. We don't know where they'd end up. This could be another one where it's like the trampoline. If things go horribly wrong, they're back in the core because you can't trust magical top hats. Those are some random ideas, but yes, this has been a very long Solo Sunday, and thank you again to everybody who stopped by and enjoyed this and followed along with the heartbreaking conclusion with we only saved 8 out of 10 aliens. Here's the ones we didn't save, sadly. They blew up with the planet. But next time, let's hope that the trampoline works. So I will be back again next month. Solo Sunday is always the last Sunday of the month at 1 p.m. Pacific or 4 p.m. Eastern. So join me as we play something else from Pencil First Games. It'll be a lot of fun. I don't know if we can top this, but I'm sure we will. There's always something fun to be had. So again, thanks. I hope everybody has a great rest of their Sunday, and I will see you again next month. Thanks again and take care. Bye.